Alright, what's going on, everybody? Hope you're having a great day. Welcome to Cardboard Collection Agency, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about the awesome topic that is, are you a casual or are you a competitive player? And that's what we're going to be talking about today. I'm going to be starting off on the competitive side with a pro. Lots of competition. You can get as much competition that you want. If you end up going to, even if it is a local tourney, or you go to a Grand Prix, if you're that good enough, you go to a pro tour, you're going to be playing for hours upon hours in an entire day. And you're going to be getting all this stinking competition that your little heart desires. Moving on to a con of competitive, that it can be very expensive. A lot of cards out there are very high priced, especially when they're when they're used highly in competitive. It brings their value right up. Players create the market. Cards can be very expensive. A play set of one card could cost you the entirety of another deck. It gets really crazy sometimes. Next, to another pro of competitive is it's a great excuse to travel. If you get really competitive and you want to go to, let's just say you limit yourself to the U.S., and you want to go to some Grand Prix in the U.S., there is tons of different places around in the U.S. that Grand Prix take place that you can compete at. And on to the second and last con of competitive play is that you're very limited on cards, which basically means that you can only work with so many sets, which the bummer in that is what I'm saying is that there's a lot of cool cards that have recently run out of rotation that were a ton of fun. A good example is my Mono Blue Mill deck lost a bunch of cards from the last rotation, making it not standard legal, which is not very great. So again, you're very limited on cards. You can only work with so many sets, but again, it's not an absolute deal breaker. Now, the third and last pro I have for competitive here is prizes. If you play well enough, you can get some pretty cool prizes, such as packs, or even a complete booster box, or you can get yourself some deck boxes, or some cool themed sleeves, or some awesome themed playmats, which I actually think are insanely cool, and a lot of those events give out some really awesome playmats when you earn them. Now on to the casual end of things. Now a pro for the casual is that your deck building is limited to your imagination. You can build with just about any card, cheap or expensive, doesn't really matter. You can play from any set, and I'd say to the limitation in that of course you play FNMs, then of course you are limited to whatever is in the standard thing. But if you're just playing casually with people at locals, you're playing casually with your friends, you can basically play with any cards you want. Now, a con, my two cons can kind of go either way for casual, and number one is you lose interest. And I say that in the sense that sometimes when people start out casual, like myself, and I can even say that I've gotten this drive, is to play more competitively. You may get a drive to push more into the competitive scene and veer away from casual. And that tends to happen to some people, definitely not everybody. Some people love to sit with the idea of just having fun with your friends. And back to a pro on casual is you can pay about whatever you want. You can build a deck for $500, you can build a deck with $50. It's about that simple. You can build a deck for really any price you want. Your obviously limitations are like $10 or less. You can build a deck, yes, for I would say about $15, but that's even kind of scarce. But I would say it's very easy to build a deck for like between $30 to $50 very easily. Now, on to my last con for casual, which again can go both ways, is no payback. And I say that in the sense is, of course, if you're a casual player, and let's say all around, you're not that great, or you're still kind of learning, you're probably not really earning prizes or anything of that nature, or even if a place has a cash prize, you're not getting that cash prize. And that's kind of like the no payback, the fact that you're spending all this money on cards, and you're not really getting anything out of it. Of course, the reason why I say this one goes both ways is because you get fun out of it. If you get fun out of it, and that to you is all that matters, then you're right in the ballpark then. If you're having fun and that's all you want out of it, then that's great on you, man. And the last pro that I have here for casual players is transportation's not very far. And I would say this is at least for most people, is because usually the casual person, you are playing generally at your locals or maybe even a friend's house. And I would assume that your locals is not very far, and I would also assume that your friends don't live very far away from you. If your friend lives in a separate state, then that completely moots my point, because then you definitely be traveling pretty far to play with your friend. But I would say in general that you don't have to travel very far, whether it comes to your locals or your friend's house or both, and especially if your locals is close and your friends will go to the same local as you. So that saves a lot of hassle when you don't have to go very far to play the Magic you want to play. And that concludes today's video on whether you are a casual or you are a competitive player. And which one are you? Put down in the comments. Also, give this a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and of course a thumbs down if you didn't. And put down in the comments, please, why you didn't enjoy the video. And I really hope this was informative to all you new players, because this is what that video was for all you new people out there. If you have not discovered who you are yet, if you are casual or competitive, it's up to you. Have a great day.